Hey everybody, my name is Dee Williams and I am your recruitment and staffing trainer and coach. And today I wanted to just take a couple of moments to talk a little bit about what it takes to be successful in the recruiting and staffing industry, what it takes to be successful when starting your very own niche recruitment and staffing agency business. It's very interesting because, I go out here and I do these videos and people are and I get people amped up and excited about this business, which is probably one of the most amazing parts of what I do in this industry. However, I sometimes I feel like people forget that after the excitement dies down or after they choose to dive into this business, that there is still some other things that have to take place in order for the business to be successful. And today I want to talk a little bit about what it means to be successful in the recruitment and staffing industry, and what it means to have a successful niche recruitment and staffing agency business. Now, typically, I throw the word niche in there, or niche. Some people pronounce it that way. I'm from Maryland. I pronounce it niche. And some people will say, okay, Dee, well, you've been successful, or I see Manpower, they're successful, or even a small to mid-sized staffing agency like even the Intersect Group, right? In Atlanta. I'm just throwing a small business out there. They're successful, but we've got to think about what are the things that caused them to make millions of dollars in this industry, to build relationships with hiring managers, to build relationships with candidates to where they're constantly creating revenue and growing their brand. And these three things that we're going to talk about today are going to be the key, okay? So success demands three major things. Number one is hard work. Now, some people say, no, Dee, starting a business shouldn't be hard work. It should be easy. Well, to legalize the business, that is definitely the easy part. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. However, when you're starting the business, when you're getting the business started, when you're creating strategies, when you're thinking about the brand that you want to develop, when you are deciding how you want to connect with a potential hiring manager, or how you want to go about building relationships with candidates, that part of it sometimes takes hard work, because you're not only using brain energy and brain power, but you are also using the energy of others, right? And in a good way, of course, naturally. That means that you may be attending a ton of events, right, to get your name out there. You may be staying up really late, or getting up super early. Sometimes you may not sleep at all, right? But it's hard work. It is about, you're dealing with people. This is a people business. And you always hear me say people do business with people they like, but you also need to know that people are weird in a lot of ways. I mean, you can never really determine how a person is going to react, respond, or associate themselves with you, in business, and in business and in pleasure, but specifically in business. You think one way and then someone comes and they prove you wrong. So keep in mind that when you're dealing with people, it's a different mentality. So it's going to be hard work. It's going to be hard work to get the questions you need answered. It's going to be hard work when it's time to understand what it is that the hiring manager is looking for specifically, and what type of value specifically you can bring to that individual company that you want to do business with. It's going to be hard work. Prepare for that. And any business that you are going to start at any time, it doesn't matter if it's the business of recruitment and staffing, it doesn't matter if it's the business of multi-level marketing, it doesn't matter if it's the business of, I don't care, whatever the business is, there's hard work involved. And if you are not prepared, if you're not prepared to indulge yourself, and I say indulge because this is when you're starting a business, it should be exciting. But diving into that mentality of hard work, then, starting a business may not be for you. Maybe it's better for you to work for someone else. Number 2, success demands sacrifice. Sacrifice. Now, this is very interesting because sacrifice means something different to everyone, and you never really know what their idea of sacrifice is. I would love for you to comment below and let me know what your idea of sacrifice is. But I'm going to tell you personally, is starting my own niche recruitment and staffing agency business. I also own a job board, the Cannabis Job Board. I also own a couple of dating websites. When you're talking about, starting a niche recruitment and staffing agency business, and you talk about sacrifice to me is, yes, losing sleep sometimes. That is a sacrifice. It is turning the TV off, not being able to watch TV, maybe not being able to attend the concerts that I want to attend when I want to attend them because I have a deadline. It may be that I am sacrificing. I have sacrificed with my family, right? With my daughter, until she came to me one day and said, "Hey, Mom, like, you're going hard." Then I had to go back and say, okay. But sacrifice. So you have to figure out what's important to you. What's more important to you? Is it the extracurricular activities that you have planned for the weekend? Or is it you getting your business to where you want it to be within the time frame that you want it to, to be alive, right? To be real. So you've got to kind of think about that. Saturday and Sunday does not mean that you stop working. It just means that you may not be taking calls on Saturday and Sunday. Saturday and Sunday does not mean that you go and plan your extracurricular events when you are in the startup phase or in the growth phase of your business. Remember, sacrifice is what it takes for you to get to where you want to be. Do you think Bill Gates took Saturdays and Sundays off when he built Microsoft? Do you think Steve Jobs took Saturdays and Sundays off when he built? No. Listen, I'm trying to tell you, when you are talking about building your very own niche recruitment and staffing agency business, you've got to put some thick skin in the game. You've got to make sacrifices, and you've got to do things that you are not necessarily comfortable with doing all the time. But keep in mind that it will only be for a short period of time, right? It'll only be until you get to that next phase in your business. And then you'll have an opportunity to sit back, relax, and chill. And then you'll have an opportunity to go and vacation in the Bahamas or in Jamaica or San Juan, wherever you want to go. But in the beginning, when you're in your startup phase, hard work and sacrifice, imperative, okay? Number 3, let's get to the last one, the struggle. Listen, the struggle is real. Let me just tell you, because when you are starting your very own niche recruitment and staffing agency business, when you're starting any business, a lot of times you're going to experience some struggle. Now, that's not all the time, but sometimes it is, especially if you're working a full-time job, especially, and you're trying to start this business, especially if you quit your job and you don't have a massive savings to fall back on. You may have to take a step back in order to move a step forward. And a lot of people are afraid of that. When I started Identifies Consulting, which is my consulting firm, I was working for a recruitment and staffing agency. I quit my job in the middle of the day. Don't ask me why. It was kind of a spiritual thing, right? I quit my job in the middle of the day, and then I went home and decided that I'm going to just tell you the truth here. I probably shouldn't, but I'm going to drink a bottle of wine, and then I'm going to wake up tomorrow and start this business. And that's exactly what I did. And I'll tell you that first year and 2 months was hard. When I tell you it was so hard, it was crazy hard. That was the first holiday that I had experienced where I was unable to purchase anything for my children. Didn't have the money. It was my first holiday. And I want to tell you, I cried. But it was the sacrifice that I made in order to see in order to be where I am today. And would I take it back? Not in a million years. I lost my car. I lost my home. We had to move into a girlfriend of mine's home with my dog, my 3 children, living in her basement. I lost my pride, but the whole time, and I mean, even I was kind of dating at the time, and I was embarrassed to even tell people I'm living with someone else or what have you. My family was like, oh my gosh, you've got to go and get a job. You've got all of these things were coming at me, and I was having all of these emotions and having all of these feelings. And to be honest with you, even though I felt horrible at that time, even though things didn't look good, the only thing that I could think about, the only thing that I could focus on was my end goal, was in a year, in 6 months, in 2 years, in 5 years, I will be back at my millionaire status. My business will be up and running. I will have the car of my dreams. I will live in the house that I want to live in. I will have the clients that I want to have. So I'm okay with this struggle right now. Yes, it hurts. Yes, it's uncomfortable. Yes, it feels like shit. However, I know that if I just keep plugging away right now, if I keep working hard, number 1, if I just sacrifice, number 2, and I can get through the struggle, number 3, then I'll be exactly where I want to be when I need to be there. And that was the thoughts. Those were the thoughts that went through my mind on a consistent basis when I would not go to sleep. There were many days I would go 4 or 5 days without sleep. 15-minute cat naps. And I'll never forget my roommate. She would say, oh my gosh, you're going to kill yourself. And I say, well, then I'll get a chance to sleep then. But I'll tell you another thing, that today, where I am and where she is, and I say this with love, with lots and lots and lots of love, but I'm in a way better position than what she is because I had a vision and I kept towards that vision. She's still working for someone else, I believe. And I have my own. And if we would have done it together, we would probably be in the same place together. But she saw things one way and I saw things another way. I understood that success demanded 3 things. 1, hard work. 2, sacrifice, and 3, struggle. And this is just a little bit of motivation for you to just kind of keep in mind that while, yes, you can make millions of dollars in this business, when you start your own niche in recruitment and staffing agency business, you can make millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars. Yes, that's very, very true. However, typically, it's going to take hard work, it's going to take sacrifice, and it's going to take struggle. And once you get past that point, then it's easy breezy lemon squeezy, as my daughter used to say. Then it's easy. Then you're riding the wave, right? But you've got to go through that period in the beginning to get to that point. So I just want you to keep that in mind as you're growing your business. Things may not happen exactly the way you want them to happen, when you want them to happen immediately, because it may take hard work. It may take sacrifice. It may take struggle. But if you keep chugging along every day, bits and pieces, I guarantee you 6 months, 12 months, some people 3 months, really. We just had a staffingpreneur make a placement in less than 30 days, right? It will come around. What you desire will be yours. So success demands 3 things when you're starting a niche recruitment and staffing agency business: hard work, sacrifice, and struggle. And if you're willing to invest in those 3 demands and those 3 success demands, you will see your business and your life flourish in a way that you've never seen before. My name is Dee Williams, and I am your recruitment and staffing trainer and coach, and I am honored to be able to share this information with you. Please thumbs up this video, like this video if you enjoyed it. Please leave a comment below. Tell us what type of success demands that you have encountered. Tell us how you have experienced sacrifice, or what type of struggles you've experienced, or what type of hard work you go through on a consistent basis in order to see your niche recruitment and staffing agency business grow. Please subscribe to our channel and share with someone who you believe could use just a jolt of motivation. Have a great day, and I'm out. Bye.